Hey guys, this is Frenzy, bringing you a game from Intel Extreme Masters Tournament in China. We have TSLRevival spawning as the blue Zerg on the left-hand side, and EGIdra spawning on the right-hand side of the map as the red Zerg. It's going to be a ZVZ on dual site. With these short rush distances, you can definitely see some early pools, usually around 10 pools as pro gamers like to go. That allows you to do at least a few transitions out of it. You can go straight Zerglings and just try to get a couple drone kills while droning behind. You can go into Speedlings, you can get quick Banelings. There's a couple different things that you can do and throw at your opponent. And it looks like right away we do have an 8 pool coming out from Revival. So hopefully IEDRA will not do any sort of a fast hatchery. That will be an instant GG. But most likely he'll play it safe. He does know Koreans on this map generally like to do some early pools, usually 10 pools. We've seen Nesty do that a lot in his ZVZs, and then he'll just run a drone scout right to here just to see if he took that early expansion. If he didn't, he'll just drone up behind it, because it doesn't put you all that far behind. But we'll have to see what IEDRA does. He is on 14 supply, and we don't see the gas geyser here. The gas geyser does go down, so it's going to be a Speedling opening, and IEDRA should be just fine against this as long as he micros correctly. It's pretty easy to micro against an 8 pool unless your opponent brings out drones for Spine Crawler Rush along with it. So we will have to see. There are 6 Zerglings on the way here for TSLRevival. And there's just going to be a small window of opportunity where Revival can try to win the game, and as long as IEDRA micros correctly against it, he should come out on top of this. So we're going to have to see. I'd like to see IEDRA just throw down an Overlord here, and not an extra drone. Stay on 15, that's generally the standard way you play ZVZs. And IEDRA is going to see these Zerglings coming out right now, so he's going to know exactly what's coming. And, you know, the spawning pool will be done. You can see that IEDRA's taking guys off of gas to get ready for that. He's looking for Spine Crawlers with this drone. You can get them on the outskirts of the creep, and if they're not scouted right away, that's super bad for you. And we do see Revival droning up behind this, so he is trying to transition out of it, and we'll see IEDRA trying to do a little bit of micro, and that is a pretty good surround on these Zerglings. He just has to be very careful not to lose too many drones. Looking at the income tab, it looks like he is losing quite a few drones here, but now that Zerglings do spawn for IEDRA, and he's going to be just fine against this. Now the scary part for IEDRA is he can't keep producing Zerglings. He needs to just start droning again. It's pretty close right now, but IEDRA is definitely on top. We do see he's 3 supply ahead. He needs to start mining gas again. He's just trying to keep these drones alive. That's why he did that extractor Shrek, because those drones were going to try to pick off the weakened ones, so he just momentarily took this extractor to keep them alive. Very nice play, good micro techniques. And now if this queen does kill this Overlord this early into the game, that's going to spell disaster for Revival. As it is right now, Revival is in a pretty hard position to come out of. He's only 2 drones down, but he doesn't have any Zerglings out. Now we see 4 popping out. IEDRA has 6 on the way, and his speed is a little bit quicker. Actually, Revival's speed's a little bit quicker. But we're going to see IEDRA probably... He's droning up behind this. It looks like now Revival is going to go for a Speedling all-in. He's maxing out on Speedlings, and as soon as that speed finishes, he's going to show off all these Zerglings. The only scary part for IEDRA now is he has to try to recognize this. He's building a few too many drones. He really needs to get some Zerglings of his own here. He only has 6, and we can see a ton of Speedlings for Revival. IEDRA is going to see this and start getting Lings of his own. Might even have to throw down a Spine Crawler. If you can get both of these queens on the ramp to block it off, that'll be huge as well. Anything to keep the surface area down from these Zerglings that are going to be coming out for Revival. We see 12 Zerglings on the way for IEDRA, so he's going to be pretty fine against this. Also the Baneling nest coming down for IEDRA, so definitely going to be okay. And huge drone advantage, so this is pretty much all in from Revival. As soon as IEDRA takes this, IEDRA getting a little bit out of position here. That's actually a really bad maneuver. He needs to pull back. He needs to try to wait for this Spine Crawler to come up. The Queen's DPSing quite a bit as well. He's trying to use the Queens to tank damage from these Zerglings. And pulling back the Queen just in the right amount of time. Looks like these Zerglings are going to try to commit to killing this Queen. And that's not actually a huge deal. IEDRA actually coming out way on top of this. In a commanding position now. As well as he has this Baneling nest up, and without any Roach Horn or Baneling nest from Revival, as soon as these Banelings start to get aggressive for IEDRA, he's going to be in a great position. He is trying to take his expansion behind this, so he doesn't want to, get caught and have Revival have a roach warren back home with a couple roaches out and then commit to an attack. He wants to have some sort of a backup plan, and that's going to be an expansion for IEDRA. So we see these Zerglings coming in, trying to do a little bit of damage, but they're not going to be able to do anything. We see a Spinecrawler coming up back home for Revival. And IEDRA's going to try to get through and scout, and it looks like he will manage to get a scout from his opponent here. Going to notice that there is no Baneling Nest, just being started a Baneling Nest, so he might come in here and try to do a little bit of damage before it gets up. He does have a window of time in order to do this. However, he can also sit back and just get a small, maybe 7 or 8 drone lead on his opponent and just stay back and play defensive with his Banelings. Either way is going to be pretty good for IEDRA to come out on top of this. So we do see drones from IEDRA, so it is going to be that staying back. You see he's about even on harvesters right now, but with this hatchery coming up, he'll be able to get much better saturation than his opponent. We do see more drones coming out for IEDRA. Now he's quite a bit ahead, and he just needs to stay around 9 harvesters ahead with his advantage that he has right now. You can't get too far ahead in drones in ZVZ. You have to build some units, and then go back and build a few drones here, and just try to keep good counts on either your opponent's units or your opponent's drones. At this point, IEDRA going to lose this Overlord most likely, but it looks like these Zerglings might stop the Queen. There are some Banelings for Revival, so he's just trying to buy some time for this Overlord to get out of the way. Should have tried to position it on top of this waterfall, but it looks like it will indeed go down. Not a huge deal. As we can see, IEDRA, about 10 supply up. That's pretty a big deal in ZVZ. But it can also change with 1 Baneling detonation, so it needs to be a little bit careful. Looks like IEDRA is going to get his Roach Warren up a little bit quicker, and Revival taking a pretty fast lair behind this before he even gets his second base up. Now IEDRA could actually do a Roach timing and probably kill Revival with his superior economy, just trying to make Revival build as many units as possible. IEDRA's got to be really careful around these Banelings. He doesn't want to get all those Banelings to detonate on those Zerglings. That could let Revival back into this game. It does successfully kill 1 Baneling with 1 Zergling, so that's always a good thing to do. And there's quite a few Banelings here for Revival. I wouldn't get too aggressive with these Zerglings. He's got to be kind of careful. 1 small micro mistake. And here comes 10 Roaches. Like I said, he's probably going to hit with this +1 timing. And that should kill Revival, but it may not. It depends on how hard he drones. We already see IEDRA still has the drone lead, and it looks like there is a Roach Warren, and here comes a Spire for Revival. So as soon as that Spire comes up, this is pretty much the timing IEDRA has. He needs to do damage during this amount of time in order to stay kind of in this game. He needs to have some sort of a backup plan. He won't die to the Mutas if he attacks and the Mutas pop. However, he's not going to kill his opponent, and he's going to have to build Spore Crawlers back home and then have to get something to deal with it mobily, such as Hydralisks or possibly Infestors. We do see the Overseer coming in for Revival, going to check out, see what tech IEDRA's going for, and it looks like there's absolutely no tech, so this could just trigger him to start building a lot of units. Looks like he is building Roaches of his own. Just going to try to be defensive here, but a ton of Roaches coming out for IEDRA, and this should be enough to kill Revival and do quite a bit of damage before Mutas even come out. Mutas do take quite a while to kill off Roaches, so here comes the Roaches. The Spinecrawler did get repositioned, and picking off a couple of these Banelings. Nice transfusion on that Spinecrawler, but it's going to fall, and there's just not enough Roaches here for Revival. It looks like this is going to be just about it for Revival. He needs to get out some Mutalisks, but that Spire just popped now, and IEDRA's going to have free reign of Revival's base as of right now. No Mutas actually coming out. He knows that they're going to be out a little bit too late here, and just trying to macro up anything he can, but he cannot. And GG, IEDRA takes the first game. You can check out more of my videos at blip.tv/FrenzyStarcraft, and I'm going to jump into Game 2 in just a little bit, so check that out.